Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Kayla and welcome. So I ran a poll the other day on my Instagram and YouTube, and the #1 video y'all wanted to see in December was my ultimate winter salad. And second to that was my healthy hot chocolate, which I'm gonna be sharing next week, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, I was kind of surprised because, you know, during the holidays, most people wanna have all the sweets. So I figured y'all would pick something like the healthy fudge, but y'all didn't. And that's why I love y'all, because I feel like we're always on the same wavelength. I was secretly hoping that y'all would pick the winter salad because it's one of my favorites and it is so good. It's the perfect mix of sweet and savory, and the texture is a mix of soft from the roasted vegetables and crunchy from all the raw vegetables. And then I round it out with toasted pecans, pomegranate seeds, and goat cheese, topped with a maple Dijon vinaigrette. Y'all, it's literally everything you could ask for in a winter salad. This salad is always a hit at holiday parties, or you can just have it for yourself and your family to serve throughout the week. But it's not only loaded with flavor, it's also packed with antioxidants and phytonutrients, so it's really good for you. And as always, you can find today's recipe plus the macros over on my blog. I will have that linked for y'all in the description box below. But anyway, let's head to the kitchen and get started. First off, let's get the sweet potatoes and beets in the oven so they can go ahead and start roasting. And I'm just peeling and chopping the potato into 1-inch cubes. You're gonna need about 3 cups worth, which is 1 to 2 potatoes depending on the size. And by the way, you can substitute the sweet potatoes with butternut squash. But the roasted vegetables are not only gonna make this salad more hearty and savory, but they really take the flavor profile of this salad to the next level as well. You're gonna need 2 cups of beets, which is about 3 bulbs. Let's chop those into 1-inch cubes as well. Now, if you're not a fan of beets, you can substitute them with roasted parsnips, turnips, rutabaga, or just leave them out altogether and add in extra sweet potato. But I definitely wouldn't skip on the roasted vegetables because they really help to round out the savoriness of this winter salad. All right, let's place them onto a baking sheet. I like to keep them separate because sometimes one will cook quicker than the other. Drizzle 1 tablespoon of avocado oil over top, along with a sprinkle of sea salt and pepper. You can also add garlic powder. Toss them around to make sure they're fully coated with the oil, and let's roast them at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 to 35 minutes, but keep an eye on them because sometimes they'll cook quicker. And while those are roasting, let's prep everything else, starting with the kale. Now, if you're not a fan of kale, hear me out. Start massaging it. It makes a world of difference, and I'm gonna show you how to do that in just a second. But first, you wanna separate the leaves from the stems and then finely chop it up. Or you can just buy pre-chopped kale at the store to speed things up, but you're gonna need about 8 cups of chopped kale. Add that to your salad bowl along with the juice from 1 lemon and 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And then just go right in with your hands and start to gently massage the kale. You want to do this for about 2 to 3 minutes, but massaging the kale helps to break down the fibers, which makes it a lot easier to chew and digest, and it makes it much more palatable. All right, while that's marinating, let's go ahead and chop up the rest of the vegetables, starting with the Brussels sprouts. You'll want to remove those outer leaves first because they're usually too tough to chew. Then cut it in half lengthwise, place it cut side down, and starting at the top, thinly slice it until you get all the way to the root. And then you'll want to separate all those little shreds before adding it to the salad. But Brussels sprouts are super nutritious. They're also loaded with antioxidants. They can help to reduce inflammation, and they're packed with vitamin C, vitamin K, and folate. And you're gonna need about 2 cups of shredded Brussels sprouts. I'm also gonna shred some carrots. Remove the ends and the skin first. And you can grate your carrots with a box grater like I'm doing here, or you can use a mandolin, or you can even use a food processor with the grater tool. You'll need 1 heaping cup of the shredded carrots. And lastly, I'm gonna shred some cabbage. Now you can use red or green cabbage with this recipe. Both are super nutritious. Red cabbage does have more beta carotene and vitamin C, but green cabbage actually has more vitamin K, so it's good to mix it up. And to shred the cabbage, you'll first wanna remove those outer leaves, cut it in half, take out the core, then place it cut side down, and start making thin slices. And then I like to go in and sort of break up all the shreds, and I'll chop any slices that I feel are a bit too long. And you're only gonna need about 1 heaping cup of the cabbage for this salad. So with the leftover cabbage, you can make yourself some homemade coleslaw, a cabbage stir fry, or even homemade sauerkraut. Add all of those to your salad bowl and give it a good toss until everything's fully combined. And now we're going to toast up the pecans. Add 1 cup of pecan halves to a skillet over medium heat and just cook those for a few minutes until they're nice and toasted. But you want to make sure that you stir them every few seconds to avoid burning. Once they're toasted, remove them from the heat and let them cool completely before adding them to the salad. And while those are cooling, I'm going to chop up an apple and a pear. Now you can use 2 apples here or 2 pears, but I like to use 1 of each for more variety. And just chop those into about 1-inch cubes. This is going to add that sweetness to the salad, which really balances out the savoriness. And by the way, make sure your pear is ripe, but not too ripe because you don't want it to be too soft. All right, let's add those to the salad bowl. And now that the roasted vegetables are done and they've cooled off a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and add those in as well. Give that a good toss until everything is fully combined. And now it's time to prep the maple Dijon vinaigrette dressing, which is going to really take this salad to the next level. In a mixing bowl, add in 1/2 cup of either red wine vinegar or apple cider vinegar. Now, I will say I do prefer the red wine vinegar with this recipe, but they were out of it at the store, so I'm using apple cider vinegar, and it still turned out super delicious. 1/2 cup of extra virgin olive oil, 1 to 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup, depending on how sweet you want it to be. I ended up adding 1.5 tablespoons. You can also use raw honey, 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and 1/4 teaspoon each of sea salt and pepper. Whisk that all up until it's fully combined, and now we're going to pour it over the salad. And just gently work all those ingredients together, making sure that every last bit of it is coated with the dressing. But just look at all these vibrant colors. This salad is loaded with antioxidants, phytonutrients, vitamins, and minerals, and it's just so fresh and good for you. Not to mention, it tastes delicious too. And lastly, to bring it all together, we're going to top it off with the toasted pecans, which of course is going to give it that extra crunch, some pomegranate seeds to add a little bit more sweetness, and goat cheese. Now, of course, if you want to keep it dairy-free, you can substitute the goat cheese with any type of dairy-free cheese crumbles, or you can just leave it out altogether. And at this point, I like to wait to toss it until I'm ready to serve it to keep it looking pretty, especially if I'm taking it to a holiday party. But this salad is definitely a crowd pleaser. It's a great way to sneak in extra raw fruits and vegetables, and it'll last in the fridge for up to 3 days. I can't wait to hear your feedback on this one. Well, all right, y'all, that is it for today's video, my ultimate winter salad, and I really hope y'all give this one a try because it's one of my personal favorites. If you do give it a try, comment below, let me know how you liked it. Of course, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget, if you make any of my recipes or my meal preps, be sure to tag me over on Instagram and I will reshare that on my stories. And if you enjoy this type of content and you haven't already subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button below. But that's it for today. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.